Ethereal cards, they hold the key, unlocking mysteries, setting us free through swirling mist. The future I see, guiding souls like a river to the sea. Welcome to the unknown prophet's domain, where spirits dance and fortunes remain. Let the tarot unfold, let it explain the path that lies ahead with no refrain.
On the road to destiny, find the path that's meant to be. Leave the past behind, it's time to set your spirit free. Step forth with courage, ready for the battle now. From the easy way to the hard way, to the unseen road somehow. To unfold a wandering, find the path that leads you home. Take a leap of faith, don't be afraid to roam. Through the 5 paths you'll discover what's true. Keep pushing forward, 'cause destiny's waiting for you. Walk with determination, feel the fire deep within. On this journey of a lifetime, let your journey begin. Leave behind the doubts, the fears, and the strife. Embrace the unknown, ignite the passion in your life. Walk with determination, feel the fire.
I'm committed to the truth, that's my solemn vow. No less than honesty, I'll show you how. When life gets tough and the path seems rough, I'll shake things up. I'm not afraid to be tough. Brace yourself, it's not for the faint of heart. I promise to guide you, to play my part, to lead you to your best day ever. Together we'll be smart. No gloves today, it's time to be real. I'll kick your spiritual ass, it's part of the deal. Ready for transformation. Take my hand, it's ready, don't hesitate. Embrace the growth, it's never too late. We'll find the path toward a better day. With truth as our guide, we'll find our way. So here's my promise, take it to heart. I'm here for you, right from the start. For your best day ever, we'll make a chart. In the land where shadows dwell, truth is my solemn creed. Through the fog and dark abyss, I'll show the path you need. When the night is cold and long, and hope seems but a bluff, I'll stand firm against the dark, unyielding, strong and tough. Steel your soul for this quest, there's not the frail of heart. I vow to guide thee through the gloom, to play my destined part, to lead thee to thine epic fate, where legends are discovered. Together we shall conquer fears, our spirits tightly covered. Cast aside the shielding guise, let's face our fates unveiled. I'll challenge thy inner demons until the lights prevail. Art thou ready for rebirth? Grasp my hand, make thy stand. You will ascend in spirit's light, as by the fire with plan. Steel your soul for this quest, there's not the frail of heart. I vow to guide thee through the gloom, to play my destined part, to lead thee to thine epic fate, where legends are discovered. Whispers in the night, revealing secrets hidden from sight. With ancient wisdom I'll ignite the flames of truth, burning so bright. Ethereal cards, they hold the key, unlocking mysteries, setting us free through swirling mist. The future I see, guiding souls like a river to the sea. Welcome to the unknown prophet's domain, where spirits dance and fortunes remain. Let the tarot unfold, let it explain the path that lies ahead, with no refrain. Unseen whispers in the night, revealing secrets
Good morning, everybody. Hello, my name is Joshua Bleasy. I am the Unknown Prophet, as you can see here. Hello, everybody, and welcome on in. Welcome in Shadow. Welcome in Max. Welcome in R.A. of Mary. Welcome in all of my beautiful stars. Welcome in. This is me. I am the Unknown Prophet. I use my homemade deck, the 5 Paths Tarot, to divine the best possible path for you guys. I'm here to light your worlds on fire, to put you on the most positive path that I can, to lead you to your best day ever. I promise to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We don't hold back here. I will tell you what you need to hear, even if that means I have to burn your world down to make you have that best day ever. Smoker's cough sucks. I know. Why don't you stop smoking then? Because I love this. I'm sorry. It's my addiction. I love. It's the thing I do. It's my best thing ever. Anyway, guys, welcome on in. And like I like to say, for you newcomers who haven't been here before, so listen up. This is how it works here, guys. So Max, everybody who's entered the queue now, this is how it works. I will ask you to pick some numbers here. What are those numbers that I want? I want you to pick a number, 1 through 10, of how many times I'm going to shuffle the deck for you. Then the second number that I need is a number 1 through 52. That's where your answers will be in my deck. Now, if you want to pick a number that means something to you, that's just fine. It's whatever number you feel, 1 through 52. Don't worry about how many I count out. Okay, that's a part of it, okay? But there will be something called a God card that happens during the shuffle. I'll explain that if that happens to you. But until it does, I'm going to wait for that explanation. Okay, so that's how it works here. If you want to ask me a question, just make it as simple as possible for me to answer so I can answer your question appropriately, because that does affect what I tell you. Or you can just say, I want a general reading, and then I will tell you what you generally need to hear. So that's basically it here, guys. And my only promise is that I will try to lead you to a better day. Everything else is out the door, out the window. Say. All right, so Max, welcome on in. Shadow, welcome on in. And when you're ready, Max, give me your numbers and question of the day if you have one, or general. Just let me know which way you want me to go, and we're ready to rock and roll right now. I'm gonna have my second cigarette for a while. I haven't had one for like an hour. You want that to be a general? Okay, got you. All right, Max, let's find out if J is the right one for you. And we're single, and we want to know if this is the person I should be courting, if I should be telling them how I feel and stuff like that. And I understand exactly where you're going here, so let me find out for you. As I like to say, I always do a cleansing shuffle before any and all readings. That means I just give you a general shuffle. I put the energy into the cards and stuff like that. So then we're going to get going on your reading. Here are your 6 official shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. And the second number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and the 15th card is. All right, let's see what the cards have to say for you today, my friend. All right, Max. I know it's been a long time coming, but we don't always like to say some things. But I think it's time for me to say them to you. I know your heart goes out and you feel that you have this connection with this person. But honestly, she's the kind of person who would contact you and would be with you if she really wanted to be there. She would be there right now. You know this. You know her well enough to know that what she is going through right now in her life may not be ready for someone who is where you're at in your life right now. And you keep blocking yourself from your own happiness and freezing in place because you're so fixated on the one person. And that's where you kind of get lost sometimes. And you want to know, yeah. So I do it a little bit different with your last message you just sent me. But the reason I have you pick numbers is because I'm kind of putting your own future in your own hands a little bit. By having you pick those numbers, you are allowing me that energy exchange to give you the kind of reading you need to hear. And you wanted to know about Jay and if she's the right one and why you're still single and is she interested in me or all of that stuff, is getting confused and stuff. But you freeze in place and you step on the very thin ice. Now, I don't know if you know what it's like here in Minnesota, but in Minnesota we have different stages of winter, okay? We have we have we have fall, winter, and then we have winter, and then we have, oh my dear God, are we ever going to survive winter? Okay, and then we have, this year was a lot different. We didn't have any, oh my God, I have to survive winter. So, but there's this little thin ice that happens in puddles when someone steps in like mud or something. And then the water collects in that mud puddle, right? And that ice decides to freeze all over. And it's not so much water that it can't, it leaves a very empty spot in the middle. So you step on the ice and the ice breaks and it feels like you're falling forever when you just dropped a little bit down. And the freeze card usually is time to maybe stop to think about what you're asking and stuff like that as well. That what is blocking you from your own happiness are maybe some of these barriers that you keep putting up. She's never going to love you unless that. And as you can see, guys, the little purple thing up here tells you exactly where you are on the list. So, and the ice card is all about boundaries, okay? And how we set up those boundaries and what we're really protecting ourselves from. We're protecting ourselves from whatever hurt happened in the past, whatever damage we've done to the past ourselves, or what damage we think we may bring into our future. The ice card always appears when someone has been blocking themselves from their own happiness because they refuse to break down those barriers that they have to get through. The ones where you're always questioning it. Either you go and you ask this person and tell this person how you feel and see how she feels back in return, which is, I need to get out of my normal comfort zone and do something I'm not so comfortable with and do something that may or may not turn out to be the good or best thing of my life. But we have to wait and see because it's free will game time. It's like throwing the dice and saying you're going to roll sixes, 1 out of 6, chance of coming up, with the right number there. But you have to remind yourself you have to take down your own barriers, the things that have been blocking, the anxieties, the fears, the rolling in your head kind of thoughts. And I think you've been feeling this for a while anyway, that you're getting this cold feeling for a reason. But I can't say it won't work, because if you worked on it and really opened up those barriers and showed her who the real you is, not the personification of you, the real ass you, then maybe she'd be saying, is this something we can turn it into something better? And that's all it comes down to, is the temper card is all about moving yourself into that position in yourself that you are ready to work on yourself enough, to love yourself enough to be able to be ready for someone. It's like throwing the steak in at the last 5 minutes to make sure it's done cooking the right way, And that maybe it was just a little underdone, a little too rare for the person you're cooking it for taste. You've got to put it in there for 5 more minutes of just making sure it cooks the rest of the way. And that you're taking it off the fire, but now you got to put it back on the fire, or back in the fire more like it, and start to temper it into the shape you want it to be. Ergo, you were both going to have to come together to work on it and say, what do we want this relationship to be? Do we want it to be acquaintance? Do we want it to be friend? Do we want it to be lover? Do we want it to be something more than that? Because there is something in this world that no one else can ever explain, and that's a soulmate. That doesn't always mean a lover mate is your soulmate. Sometimes your best friend can be your soulmate for life. And it doesn't matter what you go through, they're always going to be there. The temper card is asking you, what do you want to shape it into? Something that you have to fight against with her. So are you going to need a sword to cut through the bullshit? Are you going to need a shield to protect you from the bullshit? Are you going to need to show yourself just how much bullshit you've collected by making a cup and allowing yourself to look in that cup and go, ew, I don't want that in my cup anymore. Let me fill it with new good stuff instead. Or are you going to be the fan that takes the ebbs and flows of life and starts to control the winds of change and start to blow your fire as hot or as slow as you so choose to do so? and and I just kind of want to remind you that you have a lot of support right now, that even if the worst came to be, and I think that this is your feeling, not a her feeling kind of a deal. And that means getting back around that community again and listening to the friends who've been trying to tell you something. It's time to either listen to what they've been trying to tell you or something like that, because they're the ones who can give you the best advice that I can't give. Only a best friend, a person you really trust, someone who knows you inside and out can give this advice to you. But I think there's someone who's been trying to tell you this advice for a while now. And whether or not you're ready to listen is the other question. And you may have been around people who have been trying to subtly hint at this for a while. So, to answer your question, there's something that keeps blocking you in place, that freezes you in fear from continuing forward. You put up too many barriers getting in the way of her seeing the real effing you. Hello, Indigo. The real you. And now we have to learn how to take down those barriers so she sees the whole us. And then we have to decide if she likes that part of us, and can we move this and shake this and temper this into the shape we want it to be. But that's going to take work on both of our parts. Listening to my friends, families, and the most closest people around me who've been trying to tell you. And that's your reading for today, my friend. I don't always like to give bad news, but it is what it is. I think you respect that I would tell you the truth rather than bullshit myself through it. Max, let's be honest. You've been feeling this for a while, honestly. You just wanted kind of confirmation that that's what it was. And I think you really want to be working on yourself a little bit more rather than being in a relationship. We need to learn to love ourselves just a little bit more. And if you want a message from your higher power or a guide, I got one for you. But I have to ask you permission because I haven't seen you in here for a while. So, do you want your message from your higher power or guide? And then we'll move on to the next person in line. So I'm going to ask one more time. Max, do you want to know from your higher power or guide a message? And we're going to move on to Shadow the Grey Witch. Why don't you throw me your numbers and question while we wait for this last answer. And then we'll go on to the next thing here. Maybe they're not ready for it, so that's okay. All right, Max, I'm going to move on here to the next person in line here. All right, we're going to cleanse these cards off for you, Shadow. We want a general reading, 3 and 49. And thank you for allowing me to do this. This is my gift to the world. This is how I choose to have purpose and meaning in my life. And this is how I choose to spend my 3 hours a day that I can be spending up in a chair. I want to be able to do something for everybody in this world. See, now the beard is returning. I did a humble a week ago, and they're all complaining that I look baby face, and I'm like, give it a week or two, it'll be back to normal. And because it was getting all ratty and things were happening on my skin. I had to shave it off, not only for health reasons, but spiritual reasons too. So clearing your cards off before I do any kind of a shuffle for you here. Those are good. All right, ready for your 3 official shuffles. Good morning, Swizz6. Thank you in and welcome for the lurk. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. Welcome in one of my VIP Swizz6. All right, and he does some gaming and stuff like that, guys. So if you ever want to watch a lot of like in-player shooter games, or sometimes he plays a lot of other kinds of games, but he plays a lot of games online. Go check him out. Right now, I think he's playing some kind of a pirate game, so... Yeah, if you go back and look at some of my earlier VODs, you'll see a nice, clean, baby-faced Josh here. And normally I wear a pretty big, nice, thick beard, because I'm lazy and I don't want to shave most of the time. So let's be honest. But moving on to what your reading is all about there. So here we go. 1, 2... We're going to drop anyway. All right. And 3 cards. Now, we have God cards now. I'll explain those to you after your general reading. Okay there, Shadow? But you have another message from your higher power that wants to tell you something today. So stay tuned for that. And then here we go with the 49 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 49th card is now on top. As you can see, these are the bottom cards right there. Putting them on top. Let's get your general reading out of the way here. And what you really need to hear today is coming for you there, my shadowy friend. Oh, okay then. I can't wait to see what your God cards say. Ugh. I gotta go to work. All right, Shadow. So, and I am having a fabulous day. Thank you for all for asking. Let me get back to the chat here. We're going back here. I let my chat, had to catch up on chat just a little bit. All right, guys, I'm getting into a new reading. I will try to respond as much as possible, but hello and welcome to everybody in. So, Shadow. And it's interesting that you call yourself that. Because, Shadow the Grey Witch, I humbly respect your name, and I hold no ill will against what you've chosen for yourself, because I understand that. And just like you are understanding now that there's this new power arising in you, you're starting to finally balance out. That inner part of your soul is starting to glow so bright that the shadow is swimming in the light now, not the light swimming in the shadow. And getting used to living in that new ideas and new energies and new things that have been coming your way, living in the power and glowing from the inside out, and getting used to this new energy is going to take some time. You're meant to take a rest break here and figure your shit out, because we want you to keep continuing to do what you're doing as a spiritual person, as a mundane person, and as a mental person as well. Remember, those 3 aspects have to try to be in balance as much as possible. That physical, mental, and spiritual, or PMS as I like to call it, because the only battle left for you to fight is the one where you surrender. And we know that there's been this dualistic persona of who you are. Shadow the Grey Witch, and then the real name you have been born with. Now we need to stop battling with that other side of self. Even if we don't think we have, it's time to put down all the swords, all of the defenses, and allow that person to become us. Now we are Shadow the Grey Witch. I am both Joshua and the unknown prophet. There is no distinction between the two. They are the same in one person. There is no mundane. There's only the ethereal prophet when I'm doing readings here. Then I go back to my normal mundane life and live normal mundane shit. And it's time to lay down the swords and start to trust yourself first. All we're asking you to do is trust yourself first. We'll worry about everybody else later. If we can learn to trust ourselves and trust our feelings and thoughts and other things and overcome those things, then we can truly start to work on what's really important to us. And this is the key here, okay, Shadow? How you overcome it? You start to grow in that little field down below where you have to shine like the sun. You are the positivity. You are the sun in the sky. And what you shine down on into your life, aka if you want your life to be better in some respects, you have to start to believe those things can get better. And putting down those swords and saying, now we're going to shine a light on these things that we're fighting ourselves against and say, nope, that's a part of me. I love that part of me. Accepting it for who I really am and saying, I'm proud of this part of me. Even in parts of me I'm not quite sure how to deal with yet. You really are living the unison lesson here. The whole point of the unison lesson, and the Destiny card tells you why you're going through what you're going through. Before I became the unknown prophet, I was called Unison. You know why I was called Unison? Because I had a very dualistic personality. I had a very born with condition that I had to start to learn how to work with the other side of me. These were real mental things I had to learn how to do. It took a long time for me to do it, but I finally did get it. But it took that time for me to put down those swords, like I said. But it wasn't about putting down swords. It wasn't even about fighting anymore. It was about learning how to walk in the gray in between. That's right. Learning how to walk in the gray, Shadow, which is what you need to learn how to do. Is learning how to walk not in the light, not in the dark, but the gray, where they both meet at the same time. And allowing yourself to walk in that beautiful symphony of both sides of the chords that you need to hear. The light side and the dark side come together to make a beautiful sonnet for you. You just have to learn to listen to that. And this is the destiny card of my deck. So if you want something to happen in your life, you really want to make something be something in this world, you have the power to do this. Don't let anyone ever tell you you cannot make your dream come true, because I'm here to tell you you can make every last little thing you've ever wanted come true in your life if you believe in yourself, you believe in the dream, and you stop questioning all of the stuff you used to do and start to say thank you for the lessons and start to find some way to find that gray in between within you. Find that unison and become the symphony so that you do glow like the beautiful person that you are. That you do stop battling with yourself so that you are shining down onto your world the positivity that you want. And that's just your general reading. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Shadow, since I haven't seen you before, but you seemed excited to see these cards, I usually just show you these cards. But it's your first time here, I like to warn you. Okay? So, warning, warning, warning. These are the most extreme, most volatile, I will answer your question in the most direct answer you've ever needed to do. Okay? So your gods and guides have come to give you a direct answer to a question you've been asking them lately. Here's your answer. If you are brave enough to see what they tell you today, it can have everything to do with your last reading or absolutely nothing to do with your last reading. You have to figure out what they're trying to tell you. But if you wish to see your God cards, as I like to say God cards, yes. All right. what your gods are trying to communicate with you. You are going through a cycle for a reason. In life, in all things, we go through cycles. Whether we realize it or not, you're going through a life, death, and rebirth cycle for a reason. You're working on the death part right now, and that means letting go of some things that you finally have to learn how to deal with and let go of in order to move forward with your life. So you've got to allow this new death to happen in order to be rebirthed and reborn as the person you've always been, instead of hiding behind the two sides of who you are. Understanding that you will always go through cycles, but living in that cycles, the physical, mental, and spiritual, life, death, and rebirth, all of those cycles, as you know them very well, now you have to say, those are a part of my life. Stop putting up those defenses. If you're going to keep putting up daggers around everyone and everything, don't expect anyone to ever get close to you. It's time to take down the daggers or melt that ice so that you can start to put it into the plant that needs to grow below. It's springtime, not winter anymore. It's time to thaw that ice out and start to grow again. We have to take down our barriers, our defenses, all of this crap that used to tell us we couldn't, and allow it to not be our defense mechanisms anymore, and allow ourselves to grow from those things. We have to build a better future, but we build it brick by brick, stone by stone. And that means you choose what you start to protect. You built this new person that you want to be. How are you going to protect that new person? If you can't decide what is going to protect yourself from the harm you don't want to get anymore, how do you protect yourself from protecting yourself? You've got to put positivity in there. You've got to put open-mindedness in there. You've got to put a lot of different things that you know you need to put into your wall. They're not only there to protect you, they're, instead of it being a negative attribute, it can be a positive attribute too. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I protect myself because I believe in myself. I protect my block in the wall. And they're tired of hearing that I can't do this. Of course you can do it. We wouldn't be allowing you this building material if you weren't ready to do it. So that's what they got to tell you today. Something, and all of that means one answer to a question you've been having lately. Don't know what it is? I don't get in the middle of that. And I'm going to cleanse these cards off for the next one.
Honey, can I get a refill on my coffee?
I'm going to refill the wifey of the coffee here. Anybody else need some coffee? There we go. We refilled the wifey. I love you too, you furball of a woman. So, there we go, Gray with Shaw. That's what I had to tell you today. And they want me to tell you one last thing, since you're a little bit open-minded. Tap on the right shoulder means, yes, you're doing an okay job. Tap on the other shoulder means, maybe you should rethink this. That's all I wanted to tell you.
Yes.
So if you feel that tapping feeling on your shoulders, pay attention to that. Valerie, welcome on in. She knows how it works. She's already through her numbers and wants to know about how me and my best friend's relationship will go in the next 3 months. Okay, we're really being definitive about how we want to know our answers. See, a question I can answer that gives me a direct answer and a timeline. I love that. We want to know exactly what's going to happen in the next 3 months. This is pretty good. 3 cards, 3 different months. All right, Valerie, let me cleanse these cards off for you here and get them all nice and ready. Yeah, if they fall on the ground now, they don't matter. Sorry, to put that on clipboard. I'm so out of it. Whatever. I don't care. I don't know what you're talking about. I have to go back and read what you said there, Indigo. Oh, yeah, I understood. That's why I was waiting for Valerie to tell me was going on about, hey, I got your numbers and stuff like that, and I will get to you after the Valerie. So it's okay. It happens. It's not important. We can always retype everything in if I lose it and forget it. But we're going to get to doing Valerie's reading. She's next. You're after that, Indigo. So here we go. AN30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. No God cards for you. And 30th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and the 30th card is now on top. 3 months. First month, second month, last month. What will be the ultimate outcome after the 3 months is finished? Okay, so we're ready for this then. First month. And Valerie, this is how it will most likely go for the next 3 months of the relationship that you're in. First of all, it's going to be being around more of your friends, more than just you and this person. You're going to include your friends and their friends together and learn how to live in the happy of being around each other's friends. You know, it's important for us to get to know the people who they love in their life and find out if our friends can be friends with their friends, basically, right? We've moved our lives together in such a way now where it's almost like seamlessness with the people that they've chosen to include them in their circles of family or whatever circles it may be. The first month will be most likely being around that happy life, that happy situation, surrounded by friends who want to be positive, who want to keep looking out for the best of everything for you guys. So you and your best friend are going to learn how to live in the happy for a while and get around those people who are going to continue you to feel that way. Second month will be about whether or not you can cherish this person or not. And here's what I have to say. Is the person who's staring you in front of your face right now the easiest, most wonderful relationship you've ever had in your life? I look around at you and say, what the hell are you fucking waiting for already? What the hell stops you from pulling the goddamn trigger already? Because this beautiful person is staring you right in front of your face and you can't believe for 1 second that you're worthy of this person? Maybe you need to go through a couple more bad relationships before you see that you are and have always been the person she's been looking for, just like you are looking for a woman just like her. The only thing stopping you in this last month, that the third month will be, can you get over the guilt of feeling like a failure from all the past shit that we've done? Can I get over the guilt of feeling like, hey, I'm moving my life in a more positive way and X, Y, and Z doesn't match, J or whoever, I'm trying to find their name here or whatever, the person that your best friend is, may not be ready to be at the same level that you are at. AKA, if you're being more positive and being more of that beautiful higher level, they're kind of stuck back down there where they were. You're not too far away from each other, but you're far enough away from each other that sometimes we feel guilty that we're over succeeding our friends, and that means we're leaving them behind. If they're really important to us, we're not going to leave them behind. I'm sorry, they're not going to be someone we give up on. It's getting over the feeling of I am succeeding in ways that they aren't right now, and being okay with succeeding over them, allowing them to catch up when they can catch up. It's not that hard of a deal. and you both have a little bit of cooking left to do. It's like making sure the rice and the chicken are cooked and done at the same time. You start them at different times, but they're both going to finish at the right time because that's what it's meant to be. Now, what this last 3 months will teach you is how are we going to take what has been given to us, aka the answers we're looking for, once that information has been revealed, once I have let that part of my heart out and take the chance that I'm already surrounded by people who will be positive. Whatever happens, I know I've got a support network. Even if she just says, no, I just want to be best friends. Is that the worst thing that can happen? No, that's not the worst thing that can happen. And does she find out you have a little bit more feelings towards her that she may or may not have in return? AKA, I think she does, and she's just waiting for you to say the words kind of a deal. But how you guys mold this into the shape you guys want it to be. You take your ingredients, you take her ingredients, you go, Play-Doh, and Play-Doh goes, oh, do we want to shape this into a vase, a shield? What do we want to make this into? And that means you both have to come together and let the barriers down and start to let the meat and potatoes of your lives sink together. AKA, you have to try it out to find out if it'll work. There was a time where I would have loved to have been in your position. I am in your position. I fell in love with my best friend. We met for very magical reasons. We met for very spiritual reasons, mental reasons, and we met for very physical reasons as too. We were both bigger people. We were both seeking the kind of love that really, really called to our souls. And that cherish card is all about that first meeting when I had to trust my intuition because I had not seen her for 3 months because I didn't want to see that the beautiful thing staring me right in front of my face was the most beautiful thing I could have ever wanted. And she almost gave up on my ass, but she pulled out all the stops on her last try for me. And I finally woke up and said, well, wait, if I hadn't paid attention to that little stupid thing she had done, I would not be where I am today at all. The sweetest woman I've ever known. And that's all I got for you. But falling in love with your best friend, there isn't a better thing in this world. Because you've got most of that relationship stuff done already. Now we're just adding one extra thing on top of it. And I think if you went for it, it would work out better than you think it would. As long as you can do all of that. So, you're welcome. Indigo, now it's your time. Do you still want the 11 and the 1? And, okay, let me go back to your message here. $11 and 1, where was it? Okay, here we go. What do you need to hear about work? I'm in a black hole, no, right? Can't. Valerie, I'm posting your message here. Thank you, Valerie. Sorry, Indigo, it's your message here that I just posted it in chat there. That's what you said the last time. So it's your turn. I'm going to finish smoking a cigarette. I'm going to take an actual smoke break. Maybe I need to take a toke break. I'm going to take a small toke, guys. My pain level today has been a little out of control, so. Indigo, you now have 3-minute timer. Alexa, 3-minute timer.
3 minutes, starting now.
Indigo, you now have 3 minutes to respond before I move on to Sweetie Smith. Sweetie Smith, you're next in line. Should they not answer, we will turn. Were we dropped, if anything? Nope, we're not dropped. We're still connected. Everything looks good on my end. Yeah,
Oh.
we're still good. Calling Indigo from that black hole. Calling Indigo from that black hole. Come on in, Indigo. Come on, Indigo. 2 minutes starting now. I'd be ready there, sweetie, because I think they're having internet issues. I don't think it's them. I think they're just having internet connection issues. Usually I know, because I know they were really, really ready, waiting for their reading, and it's like, okay. Remember, guys, I go in order here. I don't do anything like a wheel spinning kind of readings. I take everyone first come, first serve basis, always, so. Just some general guidance. Okay, got you. Well, you know I'm going to do that for you, sweetie. Okay, Indigo, you now have 1 minute to respond. 1 minute, Indigo. Last call for Indigo. Last call. You now have 1 minute starting now. So you have 1 more minute to wait there, sweetie. I might just put them on after you, because I know how bad they wanted one. They'll just get it when they come back. We'll find out. Gave me time for a nice real smoke break for a change. I needed it. I need to recoup my spoons. This new energy is hard to get used to. I mean, I feel like I'm high without smoking the green sometimes. And that's a general, like I feel like I'm walking around in a dream. That's exactly how I feel now when I'm stepping through this door that I'm stepping through now. When if you go back even a month ago, I was doing it in a different way. I was basically going up to the energy, reading what the door was saying, and coming back onto the bridge. Now I'm stepping through that door and staying inside that door. Alexa, thank you. Cancel timer.
My pleasure. Just doing my job.
All right.
Happy Tuesday.
Indigo, we're moving you down. Alexa, thank you. Cancel a timer. So we're moving on. Sweetie, we got your numbers all ready. Let me do a general shuffling for you. Get these cards cleansed off for you. Okay. Well, you know, my cards are going to tell you what you need to hear today. So that's what we're going to tell you. General guidance, please, on a lot of decisions we need to make right now. Some general guidance. Welcome back, King. Nice to see you, my brother. How are we doing today? Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, I'm in the middle of going to do a reading here. Cleansing shuffle. I know I did one already, but I kind of feel like it needs another one. Now they're ready. All right, 6 official shuffles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 God cards for you. 2. On 17th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. General guidance is what we will get. And here's how to put you back on the right track, you know. Oh, good. I'm glad to see you got my card today. Good. Thank you for letting me know you got it. Did you like it? I don't have anybody after this. We can talk about that afterwards. But thank you for letting me know you got it. I really appreciate that, King. I'm trying to keep my promises and get all these stuff out the way I'm supposed to get it out. Yeah, we'll start. All right, sweetie. I will reveal the God cards for you. You've been here enough to know I'm going to do that. So here's what you need to know today about this whole situation, about the guidance that you need to hear right now. You need to make a choice there, sweetie, of deciding that some of these things that aren't serving you any purpose any longer, aka some of the depressive thoughts about your old life and what it used to be like, aren't going to really serve you any purpose anymore. So we've got to put that into a place that can serve some kind of a purpose. What do I do with this depressive, angry person who I don't know how to get rid of? Well, we're not going to make up that decision right now. We're just going to calmly put that person in a place of rest where it can stay in the rest of the leaves amongst the other leaves and let nature take its course. And allowing some of these things that we want to empty out of ourselves, to give it the time to empty out. The time for filling is coming. But we have to empty you out of all of this bullshit that you keep doing to yourself. It has to go into a compost pile and be transformed into something that is going to serve you purpose. That's why it has to go in that pile. So a lot of these problems and issues and things that you don't think are working out, if they aren't serving you any purpose anymore, and this is why you're going through what you're going through, to make that decision. I don't need this in my life anymore. I'm putting it into my compost pile. And maybe you need to make yourself a little compost pile to put your shit in every once in a while of. Maybe it's springtime, and maybe that you can show yourself that if you do the work, it will turn out to be better. AKA what you need to start to do more of. Here's what they want you to do there, sweetie. Take the control back into your own hands and start to flame and fire your own flame the way you choose to do so. If it's happy, sad, whatever way it is, you blow into that fire what you want to start to heat your life up with. It's time you take the control back of your life and your choices and your decisions. You can't keep saying, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? And now is the time for me to take that fan and go, how much do I pay attention to this fire that's more important than all this other stuff I used to pay attention to? Now that I have the right kind of, because some of this compost pile stuff won't be in a compost pile. It'll be in that fire that we're going to be burning away, because there are some things we need to burn away. Let's just say that right now. There are some things we need to get rid of completely, totally, out of us completely. And those are going to take some major work to do, but not so much that you can't handle it. But what you will be doing next is doing this. And yes, that's what this is about. I will do that. I can even feel my inner strength, because now you see that your picture can become that what you draw it to be. So just like you want your future to be a certain way, start envisioning what you want your future to look like, what this picture that you're going to show the world. Now remember, artistic interpretation is up for artistic interpretation. I can pull one of my paintings off a wall and say, how would you interpret this painting? But let's just pretend I'm holding up a painting you have to interpret for the first time ever. You're going to make a snap judgment, yes. But when you find out what the artist intended for the painting in the first place, it changes your view on what that you see when you look at that picture. Now, I made a happy, beautiful painting that is beautiful and right for you. Great. That sets well with you, but not everyone's going to look at you and say, oh, I like that. You have to be okay with showing yourself the way you were meant to be. Now we get to the fun part. Why are you going through everything you're going through right now? Yeah, exactly. And you don't need that anymore. You don't need that anymore. those personal faults that keep you in your own personal jail, are they really serving you any purpose other than to make you miserable? No, they're only making you miserable. Now listen up, because the reason you're going through all of this right now is because they are getting your plot of land ready. It's spring. It's starting to warm. The ground is becoming unfrozen again. It's pliable again. You have to get down into there and start to till that field up so that you can start to get it ready to plant something new into it. So you're going through this so you can start to plant those new seeds you want to grow. Instead of growing you're going to grow from the darkness. You're going to grow from the pain. Turn your personal most bad attribute into your power. Turn it into a force that no one can fight against. Turn it into something that's even more powerful than you. If it's more powerful than you, maybe you need to accept that that's a power source for you, not a detriment for you. And maybe we need to plant that in a different part of the soil to grow that in a new, different way. So now we have to start to plant what we do want in our life. And now what do we want to grow? What are we going to water every day? What are we going to share our life's emotional journey with? What are we going to allow those plants to soak up all of this stuff that we don't know how to hang on to anymore and give it to the plants to grow and grow from that plants? Then we add our extra special sunlight that we beam down onto these plants to make it grow even stronger. Hey, we may have some rain, but we're going to warm that rain up so that that water can be vaporized and soaked into every last part of it. And that's all we're doing, is planting those new seeds down in the ground and getting ready to take care of those seeds so they can grow in the ways we want them to grow. That's why you're going through everything you're going through right now. And that's why they needed to guide you in that way. And then we've got your God cards, which were 2 God cards that I wanted to point out something to you. So here we go. You are already everything you need to be. Your gods are saying you are everything we need you to be. You're perfect. We love you. You have to start to see that you are the great oak. You aren't a sapling anymore. You aren't a baby tree anymore. You aren't working on the inner stuff as much anymore. And you recognize how strong you are and how beautiful you are. We're kind of taking an ad break here. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I had an ad break and I just noticed it started. I don't know if that affected your reading or anything, but I see what you just wrote. And the last thing they want you to understand is, sweetie, you have all the potential to be what you want to be in the world. Just like a bud on a tree has to take in the right elements too, even if you've grown in that place where you've become who you are, there's still room for you to grow, still room for you to reach that full potential. That means you have to allow some of these buds to start to open up and grow in you. Just like you were allowing yourself to grow up like a baby sapling, there's still much work to do, because you have to grow every leaf on every part of your tree so you can collect even more happiness, even more brilliantly beautiful stuff in your life. And it all becomes a bigger, more happier circle. And it's like this. You want to roll uphill instead of downhill. Well, rolling downhill is more fun if you don't have any bumps in the way. Even if you do have that small bump at the bottom, which is more fun than anything. You have to realize you have the potential to grow into what you want yourself to be. That seed has yet to be bloomed. That seed has yet to grow. But you've grown up enough to where you are getting those new fresh buds on that tree and allowing them to grow. And that comes from your higher power. Hey, Indigo. Okay, Indigo, we'll see you next time. Sorry we missed you today, but we tried calling you out a couple of times there, and you weren't here, so we had to move on. I understand, dude. Don't worry about it. Go take care of what you gotta go take care of. We'll see you when you come in the next time, okay? Maybe today wasn't the day you needed me. Well, thank you for that, but reminding yourself, I'm just the guy helping you do this. You are the one who is doing this, sweetie. I'm only giving you the information so you can say, yeah, that feels like the truth to me. And then you recognize that truth within yourself, and then you adopt it into your life. That's a gift that you're taking, and thank you for allowing me to give you that gift of releasing that pain. But you are the one who did that. I only helped you get to that point. Swifty wants a reading. Oh, Swifty wants a reading. What are your numbers? What is your question? How are you doing, my brother? I do try to come check out your streams as much as I can when I see you're around. So, I really do like I said, I like a lot of gamers. I like a lot of watching a lot of different kind of gamers. Sometimes I'm in a certain mood for certain things. I've fallen in love with the new RP role-playing game that's got me laughing and giggling all the way. Good. That's all that I really want you to understand is. And one more thing, sweetie. One more thing before you go. Can you come back and hear me? Hopefully your internet connection doesn't bump out for this time, but you need to hear it. You are loved. Big squishy hug. You are loved. You are so loved. And they are just giving you the biggest hug in the world right now. And today you will feel this hugging, glowing feeling. My gift to you. All right. Yeah, so what is your question for today? Do you just want some general advice, or what do you need to hear today there, Swifty? And I want to say it, congratulations on the divorce, because it was a long time coming. You're welcome, sweetie. You're very, very welcome. All right. 4 and 28. Cleansing shuffle first and foremost. Cleansing shuffle. All right, here are your 4 and 28 shuffles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. No God cards for you today, Swifty. And the 28th card is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 28th card is. Alright, here are the bottom cards on the bottom. And here's what you need to know about your situation going on right now. I see it. Alright, Swift. Let's get this settled, okay? Once and for all, why? What is going on here and finalizing and all this stuff that's going on right now? Dude, you realize that for the first time in your life, you actually have choices in front of you you want in your life? Are you really going to sit here and complain to me that you have the choices in front of you that can make your life be what you want it to be? Really? Really, dude? Don't bullshit a bullshitter, because I've done this to myself so many times it's not funny. You are being presented new beautiful choices. You still have to dun down. You still have to pick those choices up, and you still have to carry those choices with you. You're making the best choices you can make. Medical, there's only so much you can do. Either follow what the doctors are saying and do what your doctors are telling you to do, or live with the consequences there. Okay? The medical things will take care of themselves. I'm sorry to say that. If things are meant to happen the way they're meant to happen, those responsibilities may not be on your shoulders very much longer. And they don't need to be either. They've lived enough of a lifetime now that even in the end stages of their lives, maybe they may have a little bit further to go, but not much further to go. You know what I'm saying? And I think you know who I'm talking about here. And you've been worried about this for a while. As much as you don't realize, the burden that's been placed on your shoulder and the burden that will be taken off of your shoulder will be a very moving moment for you. But once it happens, that will be a decision where you have to either pick up the pieces afterwards and decide, now I'm filling myself up with what I do need for myself because I don't have that extra stuff I have to worry about anymore. And it will be a relief and sad moment at the same time kind of a deal. But you know that that's still a long ways down the road. I'm not saying it's anytime soon, but prepare yourselves. It may be coming. Okay? But now we pick up the right kinds of change for the right situation which we're in right now, sweetie. Sorry, not sweetie. Swifty. And we have to start to choose a different path than we've been choosing for a while. First and foremost, what aren't you cutting through the bullshit of? I mean, we all know our own BS. We all know what we really is stopping us from living the life that we can see at the end of the road is the most beautiful thing that we could ever be. And all we had to do was cut down the reeds right in front of the stupid path to get to it in the first place. Literally went home, literally got my big, the biggest knife I could find, started cutting through the reeds until I found this dock. And I was the reason it got reopened and retaken care of because I did a little bit of general maintenance that someone just hadn't gotten around to yet. You know? And I took care of it. After that, it was better, well maintained. You know what I'm saying? And the paths out to this beautiful dock were cleared. But I had to go home and say to myself, am I really willing to cut through these reeds to get to where I want to go? You know what I'm saying? So I could have stayed at home where it was comfortable, safe, and warm and not gone and done this. I went back to the exact same spot I was at and I cut through the bullshit and I said to myself, you know, this wasn't easy. That wasn't hard. It was something I couldn't foreseen. And I opened up a new path in me that day because before I only had the hard path and the easy path. I didn't take into account the lesson of unison, which told me to bring both worlds together as one. And that's where the unseen path comes from as well. It's combining both an easy path and a hard path. One that has a plan and a purpose to it, and one where you're very determined to get to the end of that path as quickly but as sanely as possible too. So that when you get to the end, it's not as long of a rest because you've combined both paths together. And the only thing they need you to do now is share the right information. Start giving the right information to the right people. Give the right medical information to the right medical people. Give your lawyer all the important information they need. It's not a time to hold back or hold in. This is the time to let it loose and let it fly. Any kind of an evidence that you need to be proving out there why this marriage didn't work out, that's on you to prove. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be willing to share even some of the ickiest parts of what happened there and be vulnerable enough to let the world see that. And that's the advice the world they're trying to give you, is sharing that advice with us in those medical ways, in the divorce proceedings, and even in this new woman, making her understand, I'm just coming off of a divorce here. I'm going to need a little bit of time. I don't want you to be the woman after. I want you to be the woman I want to be with. So give me a little bit of time to mourn the loss of this old crap. Maybe you can help me build a better future, but I need some time to adjust to this new life I'm giving. Once you're free, it's a different story, right, Swifty? Once we're free, or once we're allowing our seeds to go down into the ground, because that's what we're doing now. We're allowing ourselves to be planted in new, different places we haven't been before. It's exciting and scary and new, yeah, but it means that you're going to grow in a new, different way. And it's going to be beautiful because that's the only way it was designed to be, was beautiful. Yeah, everyone has to hit bumps and stuff along the road, but if you're meant to be in that spot, you will grow into that very, very big spot. Just like you are doing now and setting those seeds down, now is the time to tend to those seeds. What do you want to grow now? We've left the old bullshit behind. The old tree is gone. These are the new seeds, the new physical things we want to do with our life, the new mental things we need to do with our life, the new spiritual things we need to do with our life. Do I want to share this journey with woman I've just met? Do I need a pause? What do I actually need? And filling that hole in you that says you need anything else anymore, all you have to do is accept that you have to pick up the right change and carry it with you until you're ready to spend it on the person you want to spend it on. Cut through the bullshit and walk a path that means both a plan has to be set down and you have to be determined to get to the end of that path and take an appropriate break to let it soak in. But if you don't share that information that we need to hear, then we're not going to be able to fulfill what you need and what you wanted planted in the first place. That's how we make these grow. This is the air we need to share with those seeds so they can breathe long enough to get that water and other things that they need. Because we're in the dirt and have to get it from other sources. We don't have access to the wind yet. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to use that wind-like energy. And they want me to tell you one other thing, Swifty, that this is cocoon phase. So if you want to think about it in one way, they want me to tell you this. It's cocoon phase. So you're in the cocoon, but when you come out of it, you will be the beautiful butterfly. But right now, it's cocoon phase. So, and they just want me to remind you that it ain't over till it's over. And once it's over, it's over. Walk away. Go enjoy your new life. Don't think about it anymore. Welcome in, D. I need a refill of my coffee for this one. Put this back in here. I'm just refreshing my coffee here. Perfect. All right, D. What do you need to know today? Throw me the numbers. Throw me the question. I will answer honestly. You know I will. There's my Twitch son, everybody. Say hi to my Twitch son. He plays a lot of Counter-Strike. He's trying to be the #1 player in the world. Give him a hand here by go watching him play some Counter-Strike every once in a while. And give him the all-important, great, wonderful things he needs. So don't forget, guys, you can shout yourself out here, too. 1 per stream is all I ask. Is that if you want to straighten, want to promote yourself here, I don't mind as long as it's 1 time per stream and you just say, hey, shouting out your friends is even better. Shout out your friends.
Hey, can I have a cigarette, please? Thank you. You the man.
I know it. Okay, D, whenever you're ready, I'm ready for you. Gosh darn it.
Fuck.
Give me a second. I gotta get this. We'll do this after. Alright, I'm going to get to doing your reading here in just a second, D. So give me a second here. Got new quarter. I need to flip a coin or something. Alright, let me do a cleansing shuffle. Yeah, whatever. I don't pay for your stupid thing. Either delete it or don't delete it. Why is this being so... Alright, 8 and 32. I want to know the true honest answer about should I walk Just wait for this person to reach out and what she thinks about me as of now. Okay, we're going to find out what the cards have to tell you, D. I know we were kind of talking about this a little bit before stream, so let's get into it. Let's see what the cards have to tell you, okay? Cleansing shuffle time for D. Really deep cleanse for D. Yeah, I know. Yes, I know. They're already throwing answers at me. Yeah, you're going to get God card. I can tell. All right, we're going to leave it at that then. 8 and 32 is your answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I knew it was going to happen. 5, 6, 7. Oh, here we come, another one. And 8. One more card. One more shuffle. And 8. All right, you have a 3 God card message about this answer. 2 from God himself there. And 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and the 32nd card is now on top for you. Okay, and we want to know, please tell him the honest, complete, brutal truth. All right, let's see what they have to say. At this point, I think it's what you need. Straighten the hat and getting ready. You know I love you. You know that I care about you. So don't think I'm yelling at you or belittling you in any way when this reading goes. Yeah, okay, good, because you need it. Last and for once and for all, D. Listen and hear me when I say this, okay? It is time to stop crystallizing in fear that you're gonna get hurt. I'm sorry, you're ready. It's time for you to stop worrying about whether or not you're gonna get hurt or not. It's a part of the risk of falling in love with anyone. I don't care if you're honest with this person quickly or not quickly. What is done has been done. Even if you don't get an answer back at this point, which may be the choice she makes, because like I said to begin with, she's busy. It's not a you thingy. She's crystallizing in fear, and you're crystallizing in fear. But the whole thing is she's putting out her defense mechanisms because you're really wrapping up her defenses. Because you're going and doing things that she's not ready for, and you're putting the Danger Will Robinson kind of vibe out to her. Okay? It's like something going red light, stop. This guy's a little too much for me because I'm not ready for that in my life. I don't want someone who's that, you know? And hey, she hasn't made up her mind yet. She's still existing in this idea of where or not you have to be. You know? So, it's in the ethereal, it's in that free will kind of a zone. The exist card is all about where decisions are made, where the universe helps decide things, but they can't do anything here in the real world. It takes us as human beings to make the choices while we're here, because they can't touch or feel anything. All they can do is give you the best advice possible, and whether you listen to it or not is whether you listen to it or not. You have to start to see how you want this to go. In your mind, you have to start to see it either be a positive, fulfilling relationship that does take a lot of work to do, but you're going to be appreciative of that by the end of the time when you look back and say, oh, I'm in a relationship now. But you have to start to see it as that beneficial thing and trust that if it's the right time for her to contact you, she will. If she wants to be there, she will be there. If she's gone like 2 weeks without contacting you, move on. That's all I can say. If it's been 2 weeks without any contact whatsoever, move on. I don't want you to spend 7 years waiting for a girl who will never love you back in return, ever. You know, I don't want that for you. I don't know if that's the truth or not because she hasn't made up enough of her mind yet of the kind of person you are. So she doesn't even know you all the way. She wants to know the whole you. Some part of her does, but some part of her is scared of that too because of the way you're coming off right now. It might be a little bit too much for her. You're too ready for her. She's not ready for you. You know what I'm saying? So you're not allowing her the last 5 minutes of cooking time. You're willing to eat the steak rare and get sick. But you have to stop letting those voices and those things in your head roll around those marbles on you. And the whole point is that the whole thing that you have to remind yourself is when you're starting to feel that way, deep breath in through the nose, exhale with a slow straw out of the mouth. Do it at least 3 times, then make your decision. Start practicing and doing this every time you feel like that. Start to do that. You're gonna have to train yourself. It's gonna take at least 3 to 4 months to learn how to break a habit. It takes at least 3 to 4 months. 6 months is better, but by the start of 3 to 4 months, you start to see it working, where you don't have to even try anymore. You're doing it without trying it. Every time you breathe in, you're breathing in. You know, so you're always kind of staying in that state. You can learn how to live in the chaos and not let the chaos rule you. You have to rule the chaos. That's when things will start to melt down the defenses. When the chaos and the voices in the head become too strong, we need to calm these voices down. We need to take down the defenses. She's trying to, but she's also putting them up for reasons right now. She's trying to exist in a lot of different worlds right now, and you may or may not be a part of that world. But right now, she's trying to finish what she needs to finish to become that great elder, to finish that 5 minutes of cooking time that's required for her to even go, oh, look at the other choices I have in front of me. So as of right now, you're in the state of, I don't know what to think of this guy. Let me see how it goes. If he does anything else too forward or too creepy, that might be the end of it for me. Then we got your God card speaking to you, and I'm just going to show you these fuckers because, like, it's time to do these things. And really, really, really hear me, okay, D? The thing you should be doing above all else right now is tending to yourself. If she comes along and wants to share her journey with you, so be it. But it's time to tend back to yourself and learn how to rule these things that rule you. Do whatever it takes to learn how to overcome those things and learn how to rule them instead of them rule you. Or how to use them to your benefit. Or how to use them as power. Or whatever way you need to. But you need to transform these things into something that can be beneficial for us. That can help us in our journey. Put all of that anxiety and determination into the gameplay and all of that stuff or whatever. But it's time to take better care of ourselves and get back to healing ourselves. Even though we've gotten a lot of the way, we still have cooking time too. When you are ready to blow that top off, and I know you're ready right now, well then blow your top off, take your chances like everybody else. But remember, lava burns and destroys everything in its way that doesn't belong there. So if they're in the way and they don't belong there, they're going to get melted on. So remind yourself that yes, part of your path is to blow the top off and destroy part of the world that you've created to make a new path going forward, a new place to plant new trees, new everything, new land masses. It's time for you to start to pour down into this world what you're passionate about, really passionate about. And last but not least, it's time to start to celebrate the things you already have. You are being put in the cauldron of change, but you are the only one who's in control of stirring this cauldron. You are the only one adding ingredients to this cauldron. So give yourself time to finish cooking the recipe you've started. and allow that heat to go underneath that cauldron to boil up that water so that you can start to throw the right ingredients in to tend to yourself today. And that's all I got for you, D. And I think we've been trying to tell you that, but I think you have to listen. I love you. I will be here for you. I will talk about anything you want to talk about, but there's just you getting things off of your chest sessions. And that's what I'm here for, is to allow you to have that place to do that. When you're worried and concerned, I'm that place you go to when you need to get that off of your chest. That's when it's appropriate for you to let all of it out. You know, that way you don't keep it inside anymore. It's just like a counselor would do for you. Only I'm a little bit more emotionally attached, so, you know, I can give you a certain viewpoint, but I can't give you the 100% honest truth because I care too much about you, and some part of me doesn't want to hurt you and doesn't want to make you feel bad. And it's like, I love this man too much not to tell him the truth, so. And I've always been honest with you about everything. All right, ZL, throw me those numbers. Throw me your question of the day. And how have we been, ZL? I agree. I agree. Exactly. I love you, my son. I think you're doing it the best you can. And everyone makes these mistakes and everyone does things that they're not proud of or anything like that. But I think you've done the best thing you can do right now. And that's exactly what I feel like you really need to do is wait for her to contact you. If it's been more than 2 weeks, move on from this person and just go live the other dream you have for a while. Then the right one will find you. Happy birthday, Zeal. Ooh, we're going to give you a birthday reading. How about a journey layout reading for you since it was your birthday yesterday? Everyone throw some happy birthdays in chat for Zeal. All right, Zeal, here's my birthday thing to you. Go give them a follow. They're playing Unknown Possibilities of the Universe. So, hello, Sensi. The beard is returning. The beard is returning. Well, happy birthday. Like I said. Okay, so we're going to give her, Zeal, a journey layout, which takes a little bit more time, guys. And since I haven't done one for a while, let me remind you what it is. So here's the journey layout as you see on the screen here. I know it might not be the biggest thing in the world. Let's see if I can increase it here. There, I'll get rid of it in just a second. But this is my, fucking Christ already, really. Anyway, so this is the journey layout. It tells you and takes you on a journey. If you want this, I will give you the journey layout. But we take you down your past victories and defeats. Then we go to your waiting path about what choices and decisions you need to start making better. We take you down what your hard path, what you need to be more determined with in your future, and what goals you need to start to set for yourself. And then the easy path is about what step-by-step approach do you need to start to take in your life that would make your life a lot easier in your path going forward. And then we have the combination of those two paths together as the unseen path tells you about what bullshit you need to cut through in order to get to your goal or dream. Then we have the last two cards that we tell you about, which is the home path and that tells you all about what's inside of yourself and what you need to excel within yourself. And then the last two cards are your faith leap, what fears and things you need to work on to get past in order to move forward. And then the last and final card is called the Wandering Path card, and that tells you all about the choices and or decisions that you haven't made yet that could be helping you in the future. So that's what the journey layout is. And if you're not really up for that, if you're not telling me that's what you need, I'm going to just do you a general reading then, because that's a lot of work for someone who doesn't want it. And I want you to say, I want that, bad bitch. You say dealer's choice, well then I'm going to give you the 3-carder. What's your numbers again and your question for your birthday? Can't lie, I'm starting to feel a little toasty here, guys, so I want to warn you that I do feel a little bit stoned right now. I don't know if it's the couple hits of green I've taken today or if it's this new energy. So, just in case, I'm going to do this here. A little bit of a green, just in case kind of a symbol. We might be just a tiny bit toasty. Dealer's choice for the numbers don't happen here. You have to at least give me numbers. 1 through 10, 1 through 52, Zeal. No dealer's choice here. 13 and 10. Okay, 10 shuffles, 13th card in. You got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and here are your 13th shuffles. You have one God card for you today. 1. And 10th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oopsie, almost went too far. And general reading it is. All right there, Zeal. So, Zeal. Some of the things that I'm feeling for you is this. That it's not so much that you need to accept yourself. It's accepting the world around you is what it is the way it is for right now. Yes, we want to change it. Yes, we want to move it and shake it into new, different ways. But sometimes we have to accept the world as it is. Even though we are desperate to change it, we have to realize sometimes it's the right time, right place kind of a moment for you. And acceptance doesn't always mean self-acceptance. It can mean acceptance of the situation as is or situation as it's meant to be, rather than the what's happening to me phrasing we usually say to ourselves. It's now time to say, thank you for letting this happen to me. I'm learning something I haven't learned how to accept before. Now I'm going through this new change of acceptance. Where do I bring this acceptance to? And it's this feeling like I'm more put together than I've ever been in my life, that I'm ready to do a lot more with my energy, whether I share it with a person or I share it with people, teacher style, or whatever I'm going to do with my energy. I'm deciding to take this time to refill my own piggy bank instead of everybody else's piggy bank. So rather than going out and spending my money right away when I get it, I'm going to play save up for a while. And I'm going to pick the right kind of choices that are right for me in the right time. And that means I'm going to say, what kind of a choice will fill me or fill this hole up? It may be 5 holes. It may be 5 pieces of metal that fill those holes up. But those holes need to be filled. You pick those pieces up. You see if they fit and see if they match what you want to see in your life. And when they do, they instantly become a part of you and heal you all over the place. The thing about it is, Zeal, is it's your choice to decide whether to plant new seeds down and grow them or not. And it's your choice to decide whether or not I want to start to take care of those things. You have to be a little bit more personally responsible for what you want to grow in your life. So if you want there to be a better, wonderful channel out there or place for you to be, you have to start to find that place you feel like you can grow in, put your seeds down in the ground and take care of those seeds. Like put the positive stiff stuff on them, make sure they're being watered and correctly emotionally poured down upon. They've gotten the right kind of elemental wind they need to blow off the dust off of them, and then they've got that nice strong earth to grow in the first place. That's all about you not contemplating what seeds you need to grow. It's time to pick those physical, mental, and spiritual seeds you need to plant down into that ground. And stop contemplating whether you should do it and just do it. And that's your general reading. God card coming. Yeah. They're God saying all we want from you right now is better communication, my friend, in a real physical, mental, and spiritual way. They just want you to communicate better. Learn how to communicate better in a physical, mental, and spiritual way with all aspects of your life. This is what will solve the majority of your problems, is learning how to communicate in a way that's healthier rather than toxic. So balancing out that vine so that you give and take from all of those places. And when you take back, take only that which you need to survive, not everything they have to give. Communicate your needs, and your needs will be met. So saith the God, so saith me. I think you need to do a little bit more quiet meditation, a 5-minute meditation every day before you start your day off, just saying, thank you for allowing me this time to rest and recover when you first wake up, and say, today will be the day I find joy and happiness. That's all they ever want. As long as the queue is open, you can go in. The queue is still open, so you can join a second time if you want. I don't have rules about one reading per stream. I have a reading that if you get more than 3, that you compensate me in some way, shape, or form. I don't care what it is, but if I'm going to do 3 in a row for your butt, and then we're busy, I want to get some benefit out of that. Whether I use it as, please gift a sub to that person because they're going to wait a long time. You know, something like that. You know, benefits me, but benefits somebody else too. You know what I'm saying? And you can always do that too to support me too. The follow, getting somebody else to come in here, shouting you out in your own streams once in a while. There's a lot of ways of saying thank you. It doesn't always require money. Yeah, I would love to have 40 to 50 bucks right now to be able to go buy pizza for us right now, but I don't. I have a frozen pizza I can cook in the oven later, which is probably what I'll do. Okay. Sonny, welcome into your stream. Welcome back in. Welcome back in. Let me see. 9 and 32 on a general reading. Or do you want to know something? Well, just a general reading there, Sen? All right. Here we go with your shuffles then. 9 and 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4 God cards today. 4. And now we have to count 32 times. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30, 1, and the 32nd card is now on top. Generally speaking, what do you need to know today, son? What does my son need to hear today? It is a message I've been waiting to give you for a while. Sometimes we need to be ready to hear certain things, son, and I think you're ready to finally hear this. And I think it's appropriate to the situation that you're kind of going through anyway. It's time to let the rain come down. It's time to allow these emotions and feelings that you've been holding back in for such a long time rain down onto your world. But it doesn't mean you have to pour and flood them either. Take the time to appropriately shine and rain down onto your life, because all you're doing is feeding all the plants that are below you with that beautiful release that you are giving them. They are soaking it up and turning it into their personal power, their way to grow and become better people too. So don't always feel bad for making someone feel bad. Don't feel bad for making yourself feel bad, but let those emotions out and let them be out in healthier ways rather than destructive, toxic ways. That's all they're saying is, you know how to do that. There's appropriate times to let those emotions out and appropriate times not to let those emotions out. And sometimes when you have the rare opportunity to let it fully fly, then let it fully fly. Because you can't hold these back any longer. If you're meant to flood their world, flood their damn world already. You know the person you are. You know the brilliant, beautiful person you are. You're not going to do anything to hurt them as much as possible, but you know the benefits of harm and heal. And that means we understand ourselves to the fullest extent. We are such a positive soul that we are the light swimming in the darkness, not the darkness swimming in the light. So that means we have to be the brightest thing in that darkness. Everything's attracted to us because we're the only thing anyone can see. You know what I'm saying? And as we are traveling through the darkness that we travel through, we have to decide what we are going to show this world in return for what we have traveled through. You're showing them the journey thus far. How much information you are sharing is this much information when you need to be sharing this much information. Okay? So stop sharing just a window point of view and giving them a one world view of what's going on, and break that apart and let them see the whole true image of who you are. It's different than a painting or a picture, isn't it? When we have this image of ourselves that we try to portray to everybody else, but not everyone else understands it, well, they're not meant to then. I have to move on from that person because they can't understand who I'm becoming. Well, that'll take some time to do. But the thing about it is, son, is this. The thing about it is this, okay, son? You decided you don't want to be in this life anymore. You said to yourself, that's not what I need anymore. I have to exit that comfortable, safe cage. And now you want to get back into the cage, even though you can't get to the key anymore. Even though you want to get back in there, you can't. You've changed. You become someone new and different. You can't go back into the hidey hole anymore. The universe won't let you. Okay? It's time to make a new hidey hole. If you have to make one, you're going to make one from scratch. How do I do that? I embrace the freedom that's right in front of my goddamn face. I need to embrace the freedom I've been given from all of that crap and start to embrace the choices that I have in front of me. I get to decide what one I follow now. Oh, dear God, you poor, poor person, you. I am freeing myself of my emotional cage. I'm freeing myself to be the person I've always been and be accepted for who I am. They get to see what they get to see. I will show them the appropriate image they need to see. I will break apart that image and show them more of the who, of what's and where I am. And if they don't like it, tough shit. I am free enough to know I have choices still to make that are better for me in my future. Because I just got to say it one more time. You exit the cage. You had the key in your hole. the key in your pocket the whole time when you decided to exit that comfortable, safe, warm spot, and you said, I don't want to go back in there. You locked the cage from the outside and you threw the key on the inside. Well, now you get to see what true freedom feels like. And maybe it's scary, yeah, but not so scary you can't handle it. Direct from God to you. Let go of the goddamn past already. It's time to move forward. End of story. End of message. It's time to let go of the past and move fucking forward already. Do it or don't do it. But don't ask us for more help until you have. Number 2, take off your own goddamn mask and start showing people who you really fucking are. We're tired of you hiding behind your safe hidey hole. Let's go. Let's show them who we are and not be afraid to show it. You're in the rebirth phase, my friend. You're in the changes. You know all about the changes. You know what changes you need to make and why you need to make them. But stop being at war with yourself about it. Either do it or don't do it. Put down the swords and make friends with your enemy inside. Maybe you can work together as a team to fight against the more dangerous foe. Stop fighting with yourself. Stop fighting and hurting yourself. Stop battling against self. That way you can change and grow into a new, better person. That way you can show people who you really are and you can embrace the new future you have made because you finally moved the fuck on. And with that, I give you a puff and I don't care if it makes me high because I am in pain. So hopefully, hey, gild the raid, huh? Okay, where are we going to be gilding the raid to there, my friend? When we do go, please put in, shout them out, telling me where we're going. Gild that raid, whoever redeemed it. It doesn't say who redeemed it, though. So please tell me what channel we want to go to after stream. Because I'm probably going to take Valerie's and probably think about raiding out today. So please shout out the person you want us to go to. Please give them the ISO command and at their name. That way we know where we're guiding the raid to. So Valerie, it's your turn again. Now don't ever feel bad for jumping back in line, guys. I'm here as long as I'm here. And when I run out of energy or run out of steam, I tell you guys I'm running low on my battery, which I'm starting to do. That's why I've closed the queue down as of now. So I'm not going to be probably taking another reading because I need to go. Okay, so that's where we're going to go then. All right, so why that didn't work. Here we go. Let me try it again. I'm going to do it for you because it should have worked. Oh, I see what you did wrong. You forgot the at command. ISO at, and then it would have been, you just forgot the at command at the very beginning. Uh-huh. So are you Polly then? Why isn't this working? This should be shouting her out, but it's not shouting her out. Well, I don't know what's going on there. I want to make sure that I've got the right name and stuff. And they're online right now? There's no one found by that name. I tried searching for that name. That one doesn't exist. How can I go to someone who doesn't exist? Someone who has to be streaming now. If you want to find somebody else to guide me to, they're not. They're not streaming. They don't even exist according to Twitch. They have to be from Twitch too. All right, guys. Anyway, I'm getting into your reading there. 7 and 8. Am I a part of a love triangle? Let's see if we can answer the call and find out what you need to hear about this. I don't know what happened, but I cannot find them on. Oh, okay. I think I found them. Why can I not? Okay. Well, now that I found them, we'll go find them. Hey, I love meeting new people. So we'll go there after your reading, okay? So here are your 7 shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 God cards for you today. And then we got the 8th card. Right? 8th card. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the 8th card is. All right. We've got the rest of the cards out for you, so we're done for after today. And then we'll go spend some time with Geeking Goddess here. So, if you hear some noise in the background, it's just my lovely wife exiting the room. Are you a part of a love triangle? And that's
Yeah,
what
with Lucifer.
Beth, yeah, of course. Beth says yes, but it's our kitty cat, so don't worry about it. It's a very one-way relationship. He's in love with his leg. She goes, why not let him get his jollies out of it? Okay. She humps my wife's leg like a dog would hump someone's leg. It's funny. He's more dog than cat sometimes, I swear. Except for the coming when he's called part. Anyway, getting into your reading and whether or not you're part of a love triangle, that's the question. Okay, right? I've got that right before I begin. Valerie? Okay, just want to make sure. Because the reason I had to ask was because, but I think if you are in one, it's going to end soon. They're going to make a choice. Either you are going to be with them or another person's going to be with them. It may be not necessarily a love triangle, more of testing which waters I like better. Okay? And that seems like a love triangle to you. But hey, if you were, would you share him or her with the person? If it came down to it, could you live a life like that? Exactly. So you have to say, I am a one person. And if you are choosing somebody else, that means you're not choosing me. Okay? And you have to stand your ground and say, this has to end one way or the other. Either you're with me and you're with me, or you're not. I'm sorry, it's ultimatum time, but it's ultimatum time. Choose me or don't choose me. And you know that one way or the other, something has to end. So either their relationship has to end with the other person, or you have to end your relationship with that person. Then that's the death that's going to be happening to you. But remind yourself, after death comes rebirth. right? Where do we need to rebirth now? Well, let's start by putting out the fire we set in the first place, okay? Hey, you've let this other fire grow out of control. This doubt control, this fear control, this I need to have control over the situation, the person, place, and things that he does in his life, right? I have to stop the fire and stop putting my energy to places that it doesn't need to go to, because those aren't real things anyway. They're just my fears and anxieties about the situation. I have to put out my own damn fires first before I can go around trying to put out any other fires. Concentrate on the fire that's in front of you, Valerie. That's what we need to concentrate on. Like I say to a lot of people, if he was there and wanted to be there in your life, he would be yours. He would be only yours. If you feel like this is a love triangle, I'm pretty willing to bet it's exactly what you think it is. You see the picture for what it is, but what the artist has intended for what's going on underneath the surface may be up for interpretation. AKA, yeah, I wanted to test the waters, but I still don't want to leave you. So does that mean that I'm not giving him something that he needs to desperately give? Or what does that mean for me? What do I need to fix, or what don't I need to fix about me? And standing your ground and saying either you like me for how I am or you don't. Listening to those inner voices inside. God, your guides, they have words for you too. So listen and pay attention to when they are revealed to you today. Because they're just trying to wield you into the right direction so that you get and live the most beautiful life that you can live. And I'm sorry, you've been chasing them long enough. It's time to get an answer one way or the other, but you've got to listen to what your heart is telling you. We're trying to guide you down the right path. So here we go. What are we trying to tell you? We're going to wait for this ad break here. Okay, Valerie, it looks like we're back from the ad break here. And I wanted to wait till we were all back from that ad break before I revealed these cards to you, because they're on point. Direct from your God. To you, Valerie, hear me. It's time to reflect the true you. It's time to show yourself that you can believe in yourself, that you only reflect that which you want people to see. This is you showing them all the pieces of who you are. Now they might look at it and see a black and white circle, kind of a picture, a reflection, but what they don't see is the beautiful oak tree that's being distilled behind that. Behind all of those circles, if you look carefully, is a beautiful oak tree. But you have to look carefully to see it. And just like people have to start to look carefully at you, but you're not a lot of broken pieces. You are a whole of yourself. I need you to listen to me now. It is time to claim your power. It's time to claim it. It's time for you to stand in front of the universe and say, here's what I want. Here's what I'm willing to give up, aka fear, anxiety, all those things that have been stopping me from happy. I have to be willing to give up in order to get something better for me in my life. And that's the part I have to start to say, I own my path. I own my own power to divine the best possible path, because I see where I want it to go. I'm going to make this shit happen. And as long as you live true to that path, you'll never get the mythical 2x4. But if you are not living up to your own words, if you're not living up to your own truth, the universe will come along and go, hey, you look like you're enjoying yourself a little too much there. Maybe you need to be reminded why you're here. Knock you on the path with the baseball bat, and down to the very beginning you go, because you need to relearn something. So all I've got to say is, duck! It's time to show the other part. Love means accepting you for who you are altogether. loving the bad, icky parts. Loving you in spite of the bad, icky parts. That's true love there. My wife and I both have very icky things that we've done in our lives. Not too bad that we can't live with anything, but to us they're bad, okay? To us they're bad. And we have to come to terms with whether or not we could be okay with those things within each other. Now, can we say we completely understood? No, but we can at least understand that what they were going through at that time was one of the most confusing parts of their life, and they made a bad thought moment, but they didn't really make a bad choice. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about that stuff. Anyway, so I think it's, I think you've kind of known this for a while, Valerie, that the thing about it is you have to start to work on self a lot more than you have been, because you're just not ready for someone who's like him yet. You may be attracted to that kind of a person, but you're attracted to that kind of a person for a reason. What aren't you filling in yourself that you need to fill first before you go seeking somebody who you actually want to share your journey with? Well, guys, I am Joshua Bleasy. I am the Unknown Prophet. I want to thank you all for allowing me to give you the gift of my advice. Thank you very much for being a part of my journey. And as I leave you today, I leave you with this. Let today be your best day ever. Don't anyone ever let you stop you from your happy. Don't anyone ever let you stop you from your beautiful dream and desire. Yes, Steve, we will talk a little bit after Discord. This is new original music written by AI with a company called Suno, S-U-N-O. So if you like the music, go to my Linktree and you can find out how to make your own music too as well. This is all originally AI written music. It doesn't finish the song, but it gives you a little bit of a preview of the song, which I think is beautiful. So as I leave you guys today, have the best day ever. I love you. Keep on walking, gonna wear that crown. In the midst of chaos, I find my way. Every obstacle I'ma slay it. Okay, no matter how hard, I won't lose my desire. Walking through the fire, I'm on fire. In the depths of the unknown, I wander alone. Through the darkest nights where the shadows are thrown. Breaking free from this spell, trying to find my way back to the void of the unknown, where there's no turning back.